Over the past year, I've shared so many different crochet patterns with you all, and many of them have been free patterns. And the thing that I love about crochet is that to get started, you don't need a lot of materials and it's not super expensive. You just need some yarn, a crochet hook, and you can begin creating some lovely pieces. And so in this video, I thought that I would share some of my favorite websites to find free patterns on. And as always, you can find all the exact links of all of the websites that I mentioned on my blog, which is linked in the description box below. So let's get started with this first one. Many of you might not be that surprised by it, and it is Yarnspirations. Yarnspirations is so great because it has a library of over 10,000 free crochet and knitting patterns that you can download. And their library includes projects for blankets, sweaters, accessories, and more. And they have patterns for all skill levels, and they're always updating their library with new patterns constantly. So there truly is something on there for everyone, and if you're not sure of what to make for your next project, just go over there and take a look, and I'm sure that you'll get some inspiration for what to make next. Alright, so this next one you may or may not be familiar with. It's also a website that is a yarn shop that has patterns to go along with their yarn, and it is Hobbii. Hobbii is a Danish company that is one of my favorite places to shop yarn and fiber art supplies, but they also have a wide variety of patterns for different skill levels. I always add patterns from them to different lists that I share on here with you all, and they have truly something over there for everyone as well. So whenever I want some inspiration, I just check out their catalog of patterns and always find something to make. Earlier this year, I made this wrap crochet top for summer, and I found that pattern on Hobbii, as well as this ghosted sweater pattern that I've seen lately that I've been really wanting to make since Halloween. Alright, so this next one is an old faithful, especially if you're in the US, you might definitely recognize them, and they are Lion Brand. Lion Brand yarns are really easy to access in the US, and you can usually find them in your local craft store, and they always have free patterns on their labels as well as on their website. And they also have a fun library on their website that they're constantly adding to, and have something on there for everyone from plush toys to seasonal and holiday oriented patterns to this shaggy cardigan that has been on my list of things to make for a while. So I'm always adding Lion Brand patterns to my roundups because it's really easy to find the yarns for them, and I also like using their yarns for my own crochet pattern designs because of how easy and accessible they are to find their yarns. Alright, so this next one is also a pretty common one, and you can find a lot of different yarns as well as patterns over there, and it is LoveCrafts. LoveCrafts has a wide variety of free and paid patterns, so to find the free ones, just make sure to click on free patterns on their website. And I also love finding different crochet pattern designers on LoveCrafts. If you like a specific pattern, you can just look to see who the designer is, and you can also check out their website, which is on their profile, and you can find other patterns that you might like on their website as well. And I love finding free patterns from LoveCrafts for my pattern roundups and add them all of the time. And I also have quite a few of the patterns I found on there on my personal list of patterns to make, like these vinyl record coasters. I thought that they were a really cool pattern. And I also asked you all what kind of 30-day challenge you'd like to see soon from me, and a granny square a day one. And so I am currently planning a whole bunch of different granny squares to make, and a lot of the granny square patterns I found that I'll be making, I actually found on the LoveCrafts website. Alright, so the next place that I love to find crochet patterns, many of you might already know, but I actually just discovered it about 6 months ago, and it is a oldie but goodie as well, and it's called AllFreeCrochet. It is an amazing library of over 11,000 free crochet patterns for all levels, and many of the patterns have video tutorials as well. They are also the publisher of I Like Knitting, I Like Crochet, and We Are Sewing digital magazines, all of which also have free patterns and resources as well. They also have free ebooks and even more free patterns, and are always updating it each season with new crochet and knitting patterns. So this is a great resource, and you can even submit your own patterns to them, which would be great exposure. I know that I'm personally planning on submitting a few patterns myself really soon, and the really great thing is that all the patterns are vetted by the editors, which is really important, especially with free patterns, because this means that they're likely to be at a certain standard where they're ready for publishing. And the thing with a lot of free patterns is that sometimes if they're not vetted properly, you can feel like you're really wasting your time because they haven't been tested or vetted. And there's nothing like wasting your time with a free pattern or just any pattern in general. So that's the good thing about AllFreeCrochet. Also, if you're totally new to crochet and not really sure where to start, definitely check out my Explorations Through Crochet the Basics, which is linked below as well. And over there, I have over 5 hours of crochet instruction as well as a 90-page book that has pictures and a whole bunch of different guides to help you with troubleshooting, common mistakes made for crochet, and also just a lot of things that I found helpful when learning so that you don't end up making mistakes that I know that I did when I was first starting to learn how to crochet. So definitely check that out below. All right, so this next one is also a really common crochet resource for free patterns, and it's called Crochet.com. They have a bunch of free patterns like this lovely swirly blanket or this really fun amigurumi alien and cow by Megan Craner. And there are so many different patterns for different levels, and there really is something over there for everyone. And this next one is a really popular place to find patterns, but it's also a really good one, and they have a lot of free patterns, and it is Ravelry. I found so many fun patterns on Ravelry, and the great thing is that the designers or platforms submit their own patterns. So it's a very comprehensive library with patterns from independent designers and designs from different publications. So this can be a really great place to find new patterns as well as designers that you might like their style of designing patterns, and you can check out all of their other patterns that they've created for future projects. Just make sure that when you're looking for free patterns that you check the free box so that you can filter out all the paid patterns, and check crochet as well, or knitting if you're looking for free knitting patterns. And the next place to find free patterns is a pretty obvious one, but it's definitely worth mentioning, and it is independent designers. There are so many different designers who have their own blogs and have lovely free patterns on their websites, which usually have ads, and through that ad revenue they're compensated, but you can get access to that pattern for free. YouTube is also a great place to find patterns, of course, from independent designers, and chances are you might have found me through YouTube. So I love YouTube and also discovering new crochet patterns and designers on here. And if you love making specifically blankets or Afghan crochet patterns, you're gonna like this next one, and it is AllFreeCrochetAfghans. They have a library of great blanket patterns in a variety of styles and difficulty levels, and many of them are also granny square patterns as well, which are fun to check out and begin creating your own blankets with. And they're also a sister site of AllFreeCrochet, so all of their patterns are vetted and they have a pretty comprehensive library of options. And another great resource for free patterns is Premier Yarns. So Premier Yarns is a very affordable yarn brand, and they also have a great selection of patterns to make with their yarns. I especially love their hats and scarves and sweaters and home decor patterns. And they also have a really nice collection of knitting patterns over there that have really honestly have been making me want to pick up some knitting needles lately, like this pickleball sweater, which I'm not even into pickleball, but I really loved this sweater and it made me want to try pickleball, so it's a really cool design, as well as these Valentine pillows, which are really cute, and so I'm definitely going to have to try, and those ones are crochet, so I'm definitely going to have to try making those soon. Well, what do you think of my collection of websites to find free patterns? Let me know in the comments below, and also if there is a specific website that I didn't mention, definitely make sure to tell us in the comments below. I'm always looking for great places to find free patterns. Definitely don't forget to like and subscribe if you want to join me each week for more crochet inspiration. Well, thank you for watching, and I hope to see you in the next one.